Hello, Sahara here from the 360 Alive kitchen, and today we are making cacao goji berry fudge. Yum! This stuff rocks. We've got 6 ingredients here, and you need a blender and you need a freezer. It's that simple, it's easy, it's nutritious, it is full of beautiful protein, antioxidants, natural sugars, good fats. Wow! So what have we got here? We've got a cup of nuts, whatever nuts you'd like. You can mix these up. I've got almonds with a little bit of cashews, and had some cashews left, got to throw them in. So any nuts, this rocks with macadamia nuts because of the smoothness. So you want to go towards nuts that have a real smoothiness to them. And then we have our dates, which is going to be giving consistency and sweetness, as well as really, really ripe bananas. Here's a good tip here: the riper your banana is, if you're using bananas in cooking, the less sugar that you need to add in, whether that is a granulated sugar, liquid, or from other fruits. And then we have, of course, the beautiful cacao, so high in antioxidants. This stuff is just amazing. The beautiful goji berries, again, an incredible superfood full of antioxidants. And another superfood, the coconut oil. So let's get cracking. Step 1, I like to blend up or grind up, mill up my nuts separately from everything else so that I can get a really, really smooth date puree. I find I use the Thermomix, that if I put it all in together, I just don't get the result that I'd like. So if you're using a Vitamix or some different blenders where you do get a really good result from putting all the ingredients in at once, you can do that. But I find to get the best result for how I like it is that I like to mill my nuts first. So in they go, and all prepped in the kitchen, but I'm missing one thing, the lid. So I find that's a really good thing when you're making, especially some of those things that don't take a long time. Just make sure that you've got everything ready to go, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. I've got my tray over here ready with the baking powder, so as soon as I've finished blending, it's ready, it's in the freezer, and I've made sure too that there's space in my freezer for it to fit, because as you can see, I've got a pretty small freezer and I like to put a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so let's mill our nuts. This is going to be a little bit loud, so cover your ears for a second, but literally this is one of the things I like about a multi-purpose machine, is that you can do a lot in one thing. Literally 4 seconds, and I have beautiful, beautiful meal. So it's important to actually use freshly ground meal, because you'll get the most nutritional value out of it. The meal that you buy from supermarkets is questionable to the amount of nutrition that's left in it, because who knows when it was milled, how it's being stored, how fresh the nuts were to begin with. And once you actually break up the surface area, oxidation actually occurs, and your nutrients are decreased. So if you can mill your own, it just increases the nutritional value of whatever you're making. And this is all about nutrition at the end of the day. What we eat, it's about nutrition, it's about pleasure, and nutrition is part of that as well. So go for the most amount of nutrition, I say. Okay, so I'm going to take that out, and you don't need fancy equipment. What you do need is just something that grinds. So even if you have a coffee grinder, that will work. Obviously, you probably don't want to multi-purpose it. Put it aside just for milling. Okie dokie, just a little bit more in there. So take that out. Put that back in. It's literally that simple. In the Thermomix, it has this really cool little blade that I use for creaming. So if you're a Thermomix person out there, put this in to puree your dates, because it just does wonders. Okay, so in that goes. And then I'm actually going to strain off the water that I've had my dates soaking in. So these were in my fridge and they were hard, which isn't going to do a lot for making a soft puree. So the tip with dates, using them to make a date puree, is to soften them up first in some warm water while you're getting the rest of all your ingredients ready. And then when you're ready to use them, just strain off the water. And you want to strain it off into a jar that you can use, because you may need a little bit of the water if you the puree is needing a little bit more for puree, And also this beautiful water can be used as a sweetener in other creations that you're making, such as smoothies or any creations that call for liquid. It's got the beautiful sweetness of the dates in here, so don't throw it away. This is golden yum to be used in something else. Okay, so let's put the dates in. And if you're using the butterfly in the Thermomix, you don't want to go above speed 4. So I'm putting it at 3.5. And that's going to puree up. I like to keep as clean as I can because I took it very messy in the kitchen, so it makes it easier for cleaning up afterwards. Okay, and remember to stop every now and then and just push everything down. Smells delicious. It's like a little peekaboo hole, but because it's not glass, you can't really see very much. It's a bit funny. Okay. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of the date water in to help in this puree. Just a tad. So that's been blending away. Let's have a look and see how it's going. And obviously you can do this in any blender, and depending on the capacity of your blender, it's going to take a moment in time, or it may take a few moments in time. I've been doing this, I like it really smoother, doing this for about a minute or so. And so you can see that's turned into a beautiful date puree, a date paste. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in 1 large banana. So the riper your banana, the sweeter that you're going to get out of it. I like to use as ripe bananas as possible, so they're not necessarily the bananas that you want to take out on a picnic with you or put in the school lunchbox, but these are perfect for creating with. And because it says it's 1 large banana, I'm just going to use a little bit of this other one. So just break that up. Got a knife here for that. And they are a little bit messy, these ones, so be prepared to get your fingers dirty. Okay, and I want to use just a tad of this one. Excellent. Okay. Voila. Clean my hands. Tea towels are awesome. Have them handy. And then we're going to puree up again. Yum. Let's have a look. You can already see, because I'm doing this quite slow with the butterfly, it takes a little bit more time, but you don't need to use the butterfly, that's just personal preference. So you can see it's already starting to change. Now that's broken it up quite a bit, so what I'm going to do now is take my butterfly out. Some of the date bits get really stuck in there. Give it a good bang. Put that aside, and I'm just going to give that a really good zoom, like a blender. Oops, too fast. You know when you do it too fast because you hear it go splat to the side and there's absolutely nothing hitting the blades. You've got to laugh at yourself in the kitchen. I've learnt to laugh at myself big time through learning all these creations, because you make flop after flop. Oh, I'm sorry, I made flop after flop. Working out how to do it, because recipes would say just put everything in the blender, and maybe that works for their blender, but it didn't work for me. So I worked out that it's not quite as simple as chuck it all in and zoom it on, and 2 seconds later you've got amazing wow. Takes just a little bit more insight and a little bit more cooperation. Okay, that is looking good. So you can see that. So next we're going to add the rest of our ingredients in. So I have, here is my cup of almond milk, my cup of almonds that have been turned into almond milk, which makes just under 2 cups. So we'll put that in. I have 2 tablespoons of the beautiful cacao. Sorry, 4 tablespoons. And I have 2 tablespoons, that's where the 2 comes from, of the beautiful coconut oil, which is delish. I use this from everything from my face to coconut pulling to on my breakfast, in my smoothies. And we're going to put the gorgeous goji berries through at the very end. So, do another jour, mix that through. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, yum, look at this. So what you saw before, now it is turning into a delight. Now looking at this, I could have milled my almonds a little bit more. So this is going to be a chunky fudge, which has its own textural delight to it. But if you want a really smooth fudge, then make sure you mill your nuts to a desired consistency for smoothness. Make sure that they're really finely milled. So we'll give that a bit more of a jour. And that's one cool thing is that, you know, even though I haven't ground this finely to make a smooth one, putting it in the blender again will get ground up a little bit. Okay, and then let's add our goji berries in. Now the goji berries can tend to stick together, so make sure that you kind of break them up. And if you haven't tried goji berries in a frozen cacao delight, then you are in for a treat. And here you can add in, you don't have to put the goji berries in, you can put in whatever textural taste ingredient you'd like to put in there. You can even put some essential oils in here, put some peppermint and cacao just rocks, orange and cacao rocks. Lavender, through experiment, doesn't rock so much. And if you're going to do it, just do 1 drop. Otherwise it tastes like your beautiful, nutritiously dense chocolate that you took so long making. I did in temp chocolate, so it took a while to make. Tastes like air freshener. I don't advise it. So you can put anything in here, but if this is your first time around, go with the goji berries and experience them. You know, you could put other dried fruits in here, although, you know, the sugar from the dates and the banana is already high, so I'd sort of tend to stay away, see if I can get that out. Away from too many dried fruits, and then go for more protein things like dried coconut, and then you just want to mix that through. Okay. And while you're doing that, move this off to one side and grab your container. It's a bit windy here today. I was down at the market and this dress was not good for markets. It was blowing everywhere. So I've had my coconut holding my baking paper down. So you can use any kind of tray that you like. I'm just using this one. If you want to go fancy, you can put this into little cupcake molds, all sorts of different stuff. So this will make obviously a rectangle that you can then cut up into any shape that you actually like. And for ease, I always use my baking paper. So it means that once it's frozen, I can easily lift it out, put it on my chopping board, cut it up, and then put it back into a glass container and store it in the freezer. Because this stuff will melt. I hope that you heard some of what I just said. Okay, let's have a look and see what's going on. Okay, this is looking yum. So, wow, I'm looking forward to trying this with the texture in there. Just looks beautiful with little bits of almonds and the goji berries. Yum, yum. So this is sticky stuff. Prepare to get a little bit messy. Obviously, make sure your hands are clean. And I'm going to have fun with the wind. Okay, but as soon as you put some down, it's going to hold your baking paper down. Okay. And basically, this is a little bit messy. You're just going to pat it out to the sides that you want. And the good thing is, if it doesn't quite, you don't have a tray quite big enough, because this isn't runny, you actually find that you can put it in a bigger tray and it will actually stop where you stop, because as you can see, this isn't going anywhere. This is sticky, gooey cacao yum. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Okay, let's get this all happening. So get it all out. And as I said, just pat it down. And be prepared to get a little bit messy. But that's part of the chocolate fun, isn't it? Being in the mess. Okay. And you get to lick your fingers, which is pretty cool. And the bowl rocks for cleaning up. And a little tip on that, actually, you're going to have, because this is nice and gooey, you're going to have bits left over in your actual bowl. So obviously you can turbo it to get it all going up. But then make a chocolate drink out of this. So you can grab your date water and make a smoothie based on whatever liquid that you like using for smoothie, whether you're a cow person or you're a nut milk person or you're a coconut milk person. Don't wash all this yum away. Actually put it into a beautiful drink that you can drink now, or put it in a jar and store for later. It's a gorgeous chocolate delight drink for your kids to come home to. They think they're getting chocolate milk or chocolate smoothie, but what they're actually getting is amazing, amazing nutrition. Chocolate is awesome. It just depends on the ingredients that you're using, like anything. And obviously this is to be eaten in moderation. There is a high quantity of sugar in here. So as much as this is nutrient dense, it also is a bit sugar dense. So, portion control here is necessary because it is yum. So make it and share it. That's my tip for not getting taken in by eating too much yum. Make it and share it with your loved ones. And then there's a bit left over that you can go back to another day. But if you've got a whole thing of this in the freezer and not many people around to share it with, it's going to be way, way tempting. So it is simple as that. You're just going to smooth it out and put it in the freezer. I need to wash my hands before I do anything else, or maybe lick them. So I'm going to sign out now. Peace, love, and keeping it real. Ciao from Oz.